It's set to do battle with the Dallas Cowboys. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the first carry for an Ohio native. It's Ezekiel Elliott. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Bengals' 47-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one good for 33 and a first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about where one of the GMs in the league has told me.
And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Hey, exit.
Third down from the gun, Dalton. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And the tip there altered the ball. Flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Elliott running right. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. Oh, he's looking long for Witten, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, 55 yards. And the Bengals draw even, and of course they can take the lead if they hit the extra point. Bullock good on the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Prescott. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 more there and another 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the 22, Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Dalton here from the gun. Throw left side complete to Ross. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Prescott. And he whips that one incomplete there. Amari Cooper, the intended target. 3rd down here.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the 1st.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Prescott now, option right. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on 1st down, but unable to do much from there. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Jeff Heath, the one to bring him down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Dalton now to pass. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now Austin. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Prescott on 1st down. Got his man there complete to Gallup. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott caught left side by Cobb. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And now Jason Garrett electing for his guys to try for 2. Final play of the half. Prescott. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. First half in the... Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and the Bengals grab it. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. He's at the 50. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's work done. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Here we go, D, get up the field.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He's got his man, Boyd. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
This is caught, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A.J. Green. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And this is back to an 8-point game. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 2nd down, Elliott. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It was Nick Vigil there on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Prescott now. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
The Cowboys on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Carlos Dunlap picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. On 4th, they do snap it to Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
368. Jam. Slam. No. Off. Hey, one set. Check, Mike.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Mixon. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
He's got his man here. It's Green. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The connection since 2011, Dalton to Green for a Bengal first down. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4.
Watch a slap.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Bullock's kick is good, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Prescott. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
A first down carry by Elliott. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On third down, it's Elliott. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Vigil. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The kick by Maher is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach.
Now a hit and a loose football. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long.
Watch the pass.
They'll give to Elliott. Down to the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Go. 59. I'm coming.
Prescott to throw on fourth. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bengals will get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on fourth.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call?
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Malik Collins in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on third and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear the Cowboys are going to win this football game.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They'll run on first down. It's Elliott. A good display of footwork. It gets him just inside the 5 to the 4. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. They go to Elliott again. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Cowboys on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And it's a fake. He's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Bengals will get the football back. It's do or die for Dalton. And he goes down. Dalton couldn't get rid of it, and that will be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.